Hello, friends, and welcome to another 80s Christian Rock Block radio show. I'm your host, Mike Potter. This is the show where you can hear classic Christian rock from the 80s with some late 70s and early 90s thrown in for your listening enjoyment. In the late 80s Christian rock and metal scene, no band received more buzz than the band X-Sinner. Fans were teased with their AC/DC and Cinderella-like sound on a few CD samplers in 87 and 88, but nothing else was known about them. Then in 1989, X-Sinner released a full-length album called Get It, and their popularity as a band exploded. They were named the favorite new band of 1989 by the readers of HM Magazine and were nominated for Best Metal Album at the 1991 Dove Awards, only to lose to the debut album from Holy Soldier. Here's what I consider to be the best song off of that album and the most lyrically sound song. It's called No Way In, and it's on the 80s Christian Rock Block.
You're listening to the 80s Christian Rock Block.
Rage of Angels on the 80s Christian rock block. In the early 80s, they were known by the name Ransom, but eventually changed their name before the release of their 1989 self-titled album. It would be the only album they would ever release because before the album hit the record stores, the band members went their separate ways. Guitarist Frank D. Costanzo and drummer John Fowler moved on to join the band Steel Heart, and frontman Dan Mariano went on to form a band called Pine Siren, who is still together. Sadly, it seems as though Mariano has gone through some kind of faith struggle, as the lyrics from some of the Pine Siren stuff reflects that struggle. But Rage of Angels' contribution to the Christian rock and metal scene of the 80s was significant with this album, as it was one of the top-rated albums of that genre. Let's go back to the early 80s when Rez Band was at the top of their game. In 1982, they released their fifth album called DMZ, and they closed out the album with a memorable and powerful song of testimony called So In Love With You.
I hear it, don't you hear it? Listen, it's all around me, it's everywhere. Oh, over my head. Lord, she was singing, just like yesterday. Oh, I'm talking in my sleep. Oh, I can feel it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Do the music.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Doctor, I've checked everyone. Mr. Stryker's the only one.
What flying experience have you had?
I flew single-engine fighters in the Air Force, but this plane has 4 engines. It's an entirely different kind of flying, altogether.
It's an entirely different kind of flying.
Besides, I haven't touched any kind of plane in 6 years.
Mr. Stryker, I know nothing about flying. But there's one thing I do know. You're the only one on this plane who can possibly fly it. You're the only chance we've got.
Cruising down the highway of humility. Winds of pride will blow and your stability. A song of praise will fill the heart
You are listening to the 80s Christian Rock Block, and it's time now to take a deep dive.
This is a new feature where we take a deep dive and find music you may not have heard of. This one is a hard-to-find song from John Elefante and Kim Boyce off the Voices compilation album from 1987 and the song Helpless.
Same old conversation, miscommunication. What are we trying to say? A supernatural vision led by opposition, divided by one. Then you sent us your love, your life. 'Cause nobody wins this fight. 'Cause we are helpless, helpless, lost without love. We are helpless, helpless, we're lost without your love. Human revolution, looking for solution, but still we are needing the role of our decision. It's played with good intention, but where is it leading? Well, send down an angel for me, 'cause without your love I would be helpless, helpless, lost without love, lost without you. You're helpless, helpless, lost without your love, without your love, helpless. Ooh, helpless, without your love, without your love, this world is cold. We need a hand that we can hold. So give us your love. We are helpless, helpless, lost without love, lost without you. We are helpless, helpless, lost without your love.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Yes, you can! Just do it!
That's Recon from their 1991 and only album, Behind Enemy Lines. The band was founded by guitarist George Ochoa in 1987. After playing the clubs in Hollywood, recording a demo, and recording 2 songs for the California Metal 2 compilation album, Ochoa joined the band Deliverance, but he didn't give up hope for the songs written for Recon. After getting in touch with a record company CEO, George brought in the band, and together they recorded Behind Enemy Lines. But sadly, the band really didn't get a tour to support the album, and so Ochoa stayed with Deliverance and recorded 2 albums with them, including their benchmark Weapons of Our Warfare album. As for Recon, they were done right after releasing this album. However, in 2016, much of the band got back together to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the album, and they recorded an acoustic version of the song that I just played, Take Us Away. Here's a portion of that recording, which I find to be a very cool version of the song. You can watch and listen to the entire recording on YouTube, including Bloodgood's Les Carlson rocking out in the doorway. The link is available on our Facebook page at facebook.com/80s Rock Block. And while you're there, answer this episode's poll question if you would. In the last episode, I asked you who your favorite Christian rock singer was from the 80s. This time, I want to get even more specific. Who was your favorite female Christian rock singer from the 80s? Log on to facebook.com/80s Rock Block and let me know. Here's a good one from Vancouver, Canada, named Connie Scott. She got a lot of airtime back on my college radio station because she could rip. From 1987, here she is with Don't Curse the Darkness on the 80s Christian Rock Block.
Night is falling on the planets like a shroud from pole to pole. The strong begin to stumble in the shadows of their soul. Fear takes hold. The blood grows cold without a light. Then an angry voice crescendos as the words the dark ignores, cursing and complaining. Is it hidden potential or a fearless spark? A lamp on the path or a shot in the dark? Is it misguided anger? Is it power concealed? A wick never burned or a savior revealed? A
This is not your grandpa's music, but you're probably a grandpa now yourself, so there's that.
Saint on the 80s Christian rock block with the title cut off their 1988 album, Too Late for Living. These guys are Christian rock and metal icons. Their first album was released in 1984, and they just released their 13th album in 2019. 13 albums in 35 years. That's one album about every 3 years or so for the last 3.5 decades. Talk about longevity. Well, hey, make sure you chime into the poll question. What is your favorite female Christian rock singer from the 80s? That might take some thought because there weren't a lot, but there were some good ones. Log on to facebook.com/80s Christian rock block and chime in with your favorite. We'll hear from one more female rock singer from the 80s in just a bit, but first, it was 1987 when vocalist Jonathan Pagano entered a local song contest sponsored by Refuge Records. He won that contest, and the song was put on the Axeman compilation. and it exploded on the Christian rock radio scene. Based on the success of that song, Jonathan was offered a recording contract, and instead of being a solo artist, he decided to form a band, and the band Novella was formed. Here's their hit from their 1991 release, One Big Sky. It's called Give Me Love.
Here's another deep dive on the 80s Christian rock block.
That's Shout from their second album released in 1989 called In Your Face. Before that, we took a deep dive with Barnabas from their 1980 debut album called Hear the Light. The song was Directory Assistance, and the lead singer for Barnabas was Nancy Jo Mann. Is she your favorite female Christian rock singer from the 80s, or is someone else? That's our poll question today. Make sure to log on to facebook.com/80s Rock Block and tell us who your favorite female Christian rock singer is of the 80s. Well, that's all the time we have. Thanks for joining me for the 80s Christian Rock Block radio show. Please plan to join me again next time for more classic Christian rock from the 80s with some late 70s and early 90s thrown in. So until next time, I'm Mike Potter. So long, and God bless.